Hello, scholars, and welcome to Week 5 of Applying Philosophy to Modern Global Issues. Last week we explored the explosive ideas of Marx, Darwin, Nietzsche, and Freud, which have helped define the zeitgeist of the modern era. I was very impressed with your presentations, some fabulous insights there. Please remember that to receive full credit for assignments in this course, you need to respond to your classmates' ideas in our discussion forums. This week we will complete our whirlwind tour of the history of ideas and begin to turn the focus of the course to the ways we can apply our understanding of morality to the issues which confront our world today. During the years after the cataclysm of World War II, the United Nations was created to help the nations of the world solve problems without resorting to armed conflict. The first act the UN undertook was to draft and then legislate a Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The very first words of that statement assert the, quote, inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family, unquote. The key word used here, in my opinion, is dignity, and the idea comes from the moral system articulated by the great German philosopher Immanuel Kant. As we'll discover this week, his conception of morality is very strict. He argues that we should not focus on the character of the individual whose actions we are judging, as Aristotle recommends, nor does he focus on the consequences of that action, as the utilitarians Bentham and Mill suggest. Kant focuses squarely on the act itself. He argues that we must decide if the act itself is right or wrong, period. The UN has struggled to interpret the words of its declaration ever since 1948. Furthermore, no nation, not even the United States, has the power to enforce the UN Declaration. Our world faces huge challenges today. How do we cope with the massive number of refugees trying to escape the Middle East? Not only there, but what about the refugees trying to escape tyrannical governments in Malaysia, Central Africa, the Ukraine, and Central America? What will we do when global warming and rising sea levels start to displace millions? Frequently, world leaders dealing with actual global crises use utilitarian measures of moral value to make decisions. What choice would be best for the greatest number of people? This week we will examine the principles which underlie the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. To that end, this morning I sent you a Google form which contains a famous moral test devised by the philosopher Philippa Foot, the trolley problem. Share this form with your schoolmates, with your friends, share it with as many people as you know, and ask them to fill it out. Analyzing the results of Professor Foot's test will help us understand the ways that both utilitarianism and deontology, which is Kant's duty-based moral system, how these ideas can be manipulated. Then it will be up to you to make your own choice about the principles you will use to judge people and countries as we wrestle with modern global issues. Hey, please don't forget to fill out the form yourself. At the end of the week, you can begin to research you can begin to apply your moral code to human rights issues around the world by doing a little research into a contemporary world problem in which an individual's dignity or rights may have been violated. You'll create an analysis of that particular situation using either a utilitarian or a deontological foundation for your judgment. You can make this presentation any way you want. To add another wrinkle, try to narrate your response as part of a Google presentation, or include shots of your desktop as part of your video. One last task this week, you need to find someone to interview about the ideas we have been discussing in this course. This interview is not due until October 11th, but you need to find an interviewee and set a time and date to meet by next Sunday. Okay, that's it for all. Thank you all for the wonderful birthday greetings, and I'll see you all online.